out of nowhere.
All right,
I know.
so
I mean,
I was going to ask you guys,
like,
what do you guys think of the BET performances?
What was the best one? Megan's was good.
Megan's was really good.
Oh, should we talk about that, or is that too like far back?
I mean, we're talking about it now.
I think like I appreciate the production that went into putting together that award show the way they did.
It was impressive.
I had expectations and they exceeded them. As far as like Meg Thee Stallion's performance was great, Chloe and Haley's performance was great, and I guess it's more kudos to the artists and the teams because they all looked like really good and really well produced. You know,
the weirdest part of this.
Well,
go ahead.
I was gonna say I enjoyed like Roddy Rich's too. I thought his was really cool.
That's what I was gonna say. Yeah. The weirdest part of the BET performances was like who was the host again? The girl that's on Insecure.
Amanda Seales.
Yeah, that was the weirdest part of the show. Because like when you're hosting a show and you try to be funny and you don't have the crowd laughing, it's like oh.
I feel like they didn't need a host. They didn't need a host.
They shouldn't have done a host. They should have just like had somebody talking over, like somebody that's like kind of a narrator and then just go to performance. That's what
a lot of the late night shows, like the problem right now is that they don't have audiences to laugh at their subpar jokes. So it's just
I'll bring back the laughing track and just
exactly.
Like you need something.
Yeah, because my mom will watch Jimmy Kimmel and stuff like that, and it'll be like he'll make a joke, and it's just like silence in his home.
It's
like
so awkward.
When people are laughing, even if it's not as funny, be like, I get it. But it's like
my thing is, I would just incorporate a laughing track back into like the show. That to me is like better than just having silence. I
agree.
Like none of these comedians are funny enough to deliver a joke with no reaction and it still hit the same way.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. So
unless it's like Dave Chappelle.
Okay, that is
He's like the GOAT. So
he's like the GOAT. So yeah. So it's not fair.
I actually also really enjoyed Summer Walker and Usher's performance. I thought theirs was pretty good.
I missed theirs. Was theirs good? I didn't see it.
I thought it was pretty cool. They did like two different like.
You know what I didn't know? Did y'all know they were showing it on CBS and BET?
Yeah, and apparently that's what people was talking about. They made it like hella like black because it's like y'all go and watch this.
Yeah, because does Viacom own CBS too?
They do, and now I was like, why haven't they been doing that before?
That's what I was wondering because
that was like my question.
Because growing up, I didn't have we didn't have cable, but we could watch CBS. It's like that's so interesting because I feel like they would get a way bigger audience if like they just did like regular channels.
Okay, welcome to another edition of the 97 Demo podcast, where we give you the latest in music news, music releases, and a whole bunch of fun stuff along the way. How y'all doing? Our hosts, Noah McGee, Avery Dalal.
I'm good.
How many bunch of governments out there? Oops.
Yeah, that was a full name. Good, man. How was that? How was yesterday? How was Saturday?
Yeah, how's your Saturday night?
How's your Saturday night?
July 4th, 2020.
Yeah.
It was, a fun Saturday, cooked out grill food, burgers,
The usual Saturday, right?
Just usual, regular Saturday.
Yeah. Had some grill food, had some ribs, had some beans, had some chips.
Fireworks.
Oh, interesting. Crazy. On a Saturday night in July?
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. Fireworks were crazy last night, bro. I'm not gonna lie. People was out here for real. I don't even know if they're legal here though, but
everyone just took
people wasn't shooting them in their backyards, and it's sort of like
that's what I'm, bro.
What is going on?
People were doing it here in between buildings and stuff. Like somebody could get caught on fire, is what I'm saying. But yeah, everything was
a good Saturday. It was a quality Saturday.
Quality Saturday. No complaints.
All right. Let's get into the charts. Go ahead and get this done. Music released between June 19th and June 25th was on this week's chart. At the top of the Hot 100, pretty much the same.
Really, nothing's changed.
Pretty much the same. The Baby, Rockstar, Savage, and Blinding Lights, top 3. And they've been in the top 5, I think, just at different places for like the last however many weeks.
What's Poppin' came into the top 10, probably because of the remix.
Yeah.
But that's about Blueberry Faygo.
Circle's back in the top 10. And that song has just been like here for like 43 weeks. That is like nearly the year at this point, and it's still been like either in or near the top 10. So pretty aggressive. You want to know what's like about to leave the top 20 after forever?
What's that?
Slide. 50 Slide.
Oh wow.
His last week.
That's a big drop, guys.
It was there for a while though. You know?
I know.
It's about time. It's right on
You guys asked me why you guys kept saying I'm a Drake stan. I think this is the reason I'm not a Drake stan. Because he puts songs like this out.
Come on.
Exactly. Yeah, this is not his best work. But
but again, I always give it to him because this is a TikTok song, you know?
Yeah, no, he did good for what it was like trying to do.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for something to shake up this top 15, top 10, you know.
Maybe these Kanye tracks.
Yeah, these Kanye tracks might. 6ix9ine came out with a new song, right? That might do something.
Oh,
hold
really?
on. You want to talk about 6ix9ine? Do you remember what number 1 was last week?
It was 6ix9ine, right?
It was Trolls. That's at number 34 now.
Oh, wow.
And I think that's the biggest drop from a number 1 debut.
Oh gosh.
Because it was like Trolls. I get it though. They knew.
Wow.
They knew what they were doing.
Beyonce hanging out at number 37.
Yeah, for Black Parade. Well, hold on, but it was still a top 40 and this tied her. She's tied with Michael Jackson now for most top 40 hits. So,
I just can't believe people were giving slack to Beyonce for being a top 30, 40 song. It's like, that's bad. I don't know.
I know.
Beyonce's been doing this for decades. Like, I wonder if people forget that. Like this
25, close to 25 years, basically. Yeah.
And she's still like a top 40 hit with no promotion. Anyway, we don't have to, like, come on.
Yeah, we don't have to get on that.
We know.
We know who she is. It's Beyonce, guys.
And I find this funny. Snow on the Bluff of J. Cole, I pointed that out last week. That's still like hanging on at number 54. You know, it's getting even more people are listening to it.
I think people now are just like, it's a cool track, so I'm listening.
Was it a song that you enjoyed enough to like go back to it and like, I'm just listening to it?
I would.
I think I listened to that song like maybe twice. The No Name song is the one I keep like listening to more.
Yeah. The No Name song.
I like songs. Maybe since the minute, I really like it.
Yeah.
Yeah. The No Name
production's really good. So,
I agree.
Her lyrics.
Snow on the Bluff is
insane.
Snow on the Bluff is still fine. I mean,
he's rapping. He's really good rapping by J. Cole in that song.
Yeah. I mean, it's a really,
Yeah. So. Y'all need to stop. But
neither of them are bad songs.
Not doing
exactly. We like both songs.
We like
so we can listen to both. We like.
Anyway, over on the Billboard 200. My Turn, Lil Baby, still at number 1 for the 4th week, and then it just. I think it now has the best-selling album this year.
Yeah, that's
like it beats The Weeknd now.
That's actually pretty big. Because honestly, the thing with The Baby is like. Weekend, he comes and goes, so like he'll release music and then he'll disappear. So you can correct me if I'm wrong, but the last couple weeks it's like he's been silent. Like he came out with
a music video.
Yeah, he came out with the music video for the Doja Cat remix of was it In Your Eyes?
Oh yeah, In Your Eyes.
Yeah. But correct me if I'm wrong. That's not the Doja Cat single that's popping, correct?
No, but The Weeknd still did his thing. Though he's still like I think in the top 10 or just out of it. He's still doing his thing.
No, I'm not saying that.
I'm
not saying that. I'm just saying
look
The
Tiana
Baby.
Taylor.
Yeah, that's good to see from Tiana Taylor. But I'm saying with The Baby, he's really very much present and really active in terms of like his social, his overall thing. And that is good to see Tiana Taylor too, because she's very underrated. It seems like so.
Why did The Weeknd perform at the BET Awards?
I don't know.
Would you? When's the last time The Weeknd performed at the BET Awards?
Has he ever?
I feel like during the Hills there, I could imagine he performed.
Has he ever though?
I would have loved to see like what he would do with like a performance of like In Your Eyes or I don't know any of those songs. Honestly, the whole song.
Yeah,
great album.
That would be dope.
Yeah.
A Boogie with the Hoodie.
He released the deluxe version of that album, and it went up to number 3 from what, like 80 something. It was really like it was a big jump. 80. So like,
yeah, because I saw that I was like, wait, did he release a new album?
He performed "Earned It" with Alicia Keys at the 2015 BET Awards. So he's been there before.
Makes sense.
We should also shout out the legend Bob Dylan.
Yeah,
Bob Dylan,
number 2.
Rough and Rowdy Ways. Avery, did you listen to that?
I had not. My brother probably did. I did not.
Oh, your brother's a fan?
Yeah, he's a big Bob Dylan.
That's
he
what's
likes
up.
all those old dudes.
That's what's up.
Should we check on our boy? What's his name?
Jimmy Buffett?
I don't know if Jimmy Buffett's still. I feel.
He's not on the. I guarantee he's not on the list.
He's not there anymore.
I don't like.
Oh wow! You just embarrassed my man. You just embarrassed my man. That was uncalled for.
I'll check on Bob Dylan next week. Okay.
There are some like other good debuts we can talk about. John Legend, he debuted at number 19. Is that for John Legend? Is that like surprising?
It's like that makes sense to me.
That makes sense to me. John Legend has become more of like known for being married to Chrissy Teigen, unfortunately.
I don't think that's true.
I think so. I think so.
I don't think like he's popular enough to be in the top 20. I don't think he's like popular enough for one of his albums.
All of me was that he has some songs every now and then.
No, I mean like
songs.
His singles will definitely go to number one, but like I don't think his albums will ever.
I agree. Yeah, people might know singles and they know him for Chrissy Teigen, but T Grizzly, he's a rapper that's been out for a minute. Didn't really he released the album, but
City Girls debuted at number 29, and honestly, for what that album went through, I think there was like a leak, so they couldn't do like their promotion or anything. So this was out. I mean, that's not bad. I think that's still like their best-selling album so far. So y'all listen to Jobs? Any of those songs?
Jobs.
That's like the new City Girls song.
No, I'm not.
Give it a chance.
Did you, Nnamdi? Was it good?
No, I mean, I watched the music video once.
Was it good?
Okay, this is interesting. Pop Smoke at 30, considering that his album's coming out, so I expect to see that on there next week. I think it's gonna be number one.
I think so, right?
Or number two. I think it's gonna be number one.
I had a link. Someone predicted it was gonna sell 175 to 195, but I'm taking that with a big grain of salt because they predicted that a day after the album came out, and I just don't know how you can predict that early for a Pop Smoke album.
Oh, your girl.
There you go,
Phoebe. After a couple weeks.
Yeah, and Hamilton came up to 45 because of the.
Have y'all watched?
That makes sense. I haven't watched it. But I'm not surprised considering.
I have been listening to the soundtrack recently, so.
Is it good?
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I love it. I saw it in New York. Like, it's so good. The music's so good. So.
That's what's up.
Obviously, a lot of other people had the same idea.
It just released on Disney Plus, so everybody's going back.
Nnamdi, look, Black Eyed Peas.
I know. In my youth, I loved the Black Eyed Peas. But
you still love Black Eyed Peas.
I understand why this is where it is.
I'm also wondering, guys.
Number 52.
No, guys, I'm also wondering because this past week there was a versus with Fabulous and Jadakiss, and usually streams go up with those when artists do that. Like, it's really good. Look, I don't know if any of their albums or songs.
Won that versus Fab or Jadakiss?
I saw it. I mean, I didn't. I listened to it afterwards, and I think Jadakiss won. And a lot of like radio stuff, and Joe Budden too. Shout out to the podcast. They did like a breakdown. They did like a breakdown too of like who they thought won and stuff like that. So it seemed like the consensus was Jadakiss. Dang, Chloe and Halle.
I know. I was literally just about to bring that up.
Oh,
man.
That's a shame because it's such a great album.
That's a shame. Shame on everybody. That's
it's such a great album. I don't know.
It's a great album. That is not. But when she's in when she's in that Disney Channel movie, Halle,
Yeah.
It's a Disney movie, not a Disney Channel movie.
No, it's not.
I didn't mean to do that. Disney movie.
It's the Little Mermaid.
The Little Mermaid. Yes.
And Kendrick Lamar is still on the top.
He's still hanging out in the 100.
I think he's breaking records.
Really? Yeah. He did, didn't he?
He broke a record for the longest streak on like top 200. But okay.
So I don't know what do we expect to be on here next week? I can't think of any big releases. The Kanye songs. Pop Smoke. Yeah.
Pop Smoke. Kanye's gonna be Kanye and I think Ego Death with High Dollar Sign might be on. It might not be like top 10, but it might be like top 25-ish.
Right.
Do you want to talk about his new songs? Did you listen to Ego Death and then the Travis Scott single, Wash Us in the Blood?
You mean the Kanye?
Well, I mean like the Travis Scott feature, Kanye.
Oh yeah. They were both good. The Ego Death song is actually way better though. I really enjoyed that actually.
It feels better for a summer song. It feels like a very summer song. That's why I like it a lot.
Yeah. The Kanye song.
Go ahead.
Yeah. No, go ahead. I was gonna get into the Kanye song.
I was gonna say I was surprised to see it was a Ty Dolla $ign song. Again, I don't know why. I just never think of him as like a solo artist.
I'm happy he has a song of this caliber that I do think is good, and he's the lead on it. So
he's the lead, but I think all the features help. Like, you know how I told Avery how in this Kanye song, Travis Scott, he was fine on it, but he didn't necessarily add to the track. Like, oh my gosh, the song was made because Travis Scott. Like with Ego Death, the features definitely added to the track. I was like, the song is obviously way better with the features on it.
Yeah.
Which I think.
Okay, so, that's fair. I'll give it that.
Yeah. So.
But let's talk about the Swatches in the Blood. What did you guys think? I know we have thoughts. I know we have thoughts about the song.
Go ahead, Avery. Go ahead.
Out of the three of us, I like it the most. I like it. I think it's really good. It sounds very Yeezus-y in like a good way. I think if this was on Yeezus, it would be one of the better songs on there.
I agree with that.
And I also think it's cool that like you never really see Kanye going back to like previous sounds that he's done before.
Yeah.
Like in the past 10, 15 years, he's kind of become this artist that with like every new cycle of his releases, he's come with like a new genre or like a new sound or something. So I think it's really interesting to see him like revisit something that he's kind of done before, and also like do it well. And also I think his rapping on it is pretty decent. I mean, he's not really saying much of substance, but his rapping towards the end especially I think is pretty good.
Yeah. Well, there's something I'm gonna say I disagree with you just a little bit. It's not like a big disagreement. Like, I feel you. Like each release, it's like something different. But I feel like every once in a while we'll have like this one track that's like a throwback. So like on Life of Pablo, remember New Friends? That felt like a throwback track, which I think a lot of people liked it. Real Friends.
Yeah,
I said New Friends. Real Friends sounded like a throwback track on that particular at that time. It sounded like but he'll have like one, but then for the most part.
I'm not thinking like he never does it. It's just like pretty infrequent of him to see.
Exactly. Yeah.
So, I think that's my thing. Okay, and I admit this, and it's unfair I do it. So I am very much so a Kanye fan, but I am a really, really big pre-Life of Pablo, including Life of Pablo fan. Like I loved his releases up to that point. And I find myself sometimes having my nostalgia, like having that kind of mold my expectations of what I want Kanye music to be. And that's not fair to the artist. I do think you should let artists do what they want. And Kanye, like you said, Avery, never really, as far as albums go, repeats the same sound. So I think at first when this came out for the lead single of his new album, a little part of me, of course, was like, dang, okay, this is the direction he's going. Very Yeezus sounding like you're saying. And Yeezus, I do think with time is getting way more respect and appreciation. But a little part of you does want Kanye to, you want to feel like Kanye is giving you a classic. And do y'all think this is a classic?
Oh, no. But
I guess you can't really tell since it's just been out, but
even though this is in that realm of Yeezus, I think people are gonna like it because it's definitely better than most of the music on
that's true.
On what's that dang album that he came out with last? The Jesus album. Jesus is King. Sorry, God, I've listened to that.
I've already listened to this song. I've already listened to this song more than I've listened to any song on Jesus.
Well, yeah, exactly.
That is very
exactly.
True.
So I think it's definitely a throwback to the Kanye that people enjoy way more than Jesus is King, which is I think that people like, because sometimes with the artists, when people are giving you music that's so lackluster, I'm not saying it's bad, but lackluster or not up to expectations, when something like this is better than like the last album release, we're gonna like it. So
yeah,
that's what I think. So,
and I will say, when it first came out, I did say the production felt heavy, but the more I listen to it, the more I'm just like, okay, I do enjoy the song. So
I enjoy the production.
I'm just stepping back.
And like I told Avery, I think it would have been better if Travis Scott wasn't on the song. That's what I think. If Travis Scott wasn't on the song, like
is that a hot take?
That's not. I mean, no, it's not like Travis Scott's bad on it. I'm not like saying he ruined the song, but like he didn't necessarily add anything that was like, oh my god, like I feel like it would have been even better if it was just Kanye doing his thing with the little, because Travis Scott is basically doing ad libs throughout the whole thing, and there's already like the little sounds in the back already in the production. So like.
So does this make you guys excited for God's Country, his upcoming album?
Well, there's talks because not allegedly, but like they're saying that this is going to be with Dr. Dre. Like he's producing.
Oh, I've seen that.
Did he produce the song?
I don't think so. I don't think so.
I don't think so.
No, I don't think so. But based on tweets that Kanye's had and other things, it's like maybe he's working on a project with Dr. Dre, or this is the project. I don't know.
Hip hop producers of all time.
Exactly.
It's a coincidence that we learned about Kanye's upcoming album and Kanye announced a presidential run.
No, not at all. No. I don't know. Okay, let me just bring this up. Why do we keep getting trolled? Okay, we've gotten so caught up with being trolled by like 6ix9ine and all these other people, and we're forgetting that the original troll, The one who does it without us even knowing is Kanye.
Yeah.
He does this every time he's about to release an album. Is he just says something absurd and crazy that makes him like get into all the mainstream news.
The minute I saw people writing think pieces about how Kanye West like is gonna split the Democratic vote and Donald Trump is gonna win that way, I was like, he's doing it again.
Yeah. Did this 4 years ago. Like at this same time in the year too.
So hopefully he'll on the album.
Hopefully. I'm excited for this makes me like more excited for the album than like Jesus is King did. I'll agree with that. But like I just don't know what it's gonna sound like because I don't think every song is gonna sound like this one.
I don't know, like every Kanye album has released since Life of Pablo. I take it with a grain of salt. So I'm still not. I'm never excited. Like sometimes the album comes like oh, I know it's gonna be good even if it's different. Like I take every Kanye album with a grain of salt nowadays.
It hasn't been that long since he's come out with a great album. I mean, with Kids See Ghosts, if we're counting that. That's what I'm counting.
Yeah, but that was with Kid Cudi, though.
It gives me hope he's collaborating with Dr. Dre.
True.
That's true. That does give me hope.
It gives me hope.
Dre's not rapping on it, but I'm happy he's going to be behind it.
Well, I hope Dr. Dre, I hope somebody's writing for him, hopefully.
Yeah.
The Kanye albums since The Life of Pablo, including The Life of Pablo, have any of them aged better with time?
I think The Life of Pablo is good.
Life of Pablo is probably the best. It's probably aged the best.
And then I think people can appreciate, well, obviously like 808s and Heartbreaks has easily aged better over time.
That was before Life of Pablo, right?
I don't know if we were counting that though, but yeah.
But Jesus, I think people can appreciate it more over time. I don't know if it's necessarily I will go back and listen to Jesus, but I definitely have some of those songs still in my rotation. So
that's true. He also has a Gap deal. If we're talking about Kanye, might as well talk everything about Kanye. He also has a deal with Gap, which I guess is full circle for him because he used to work at Gap. Is that a thing?
That's a thing because in his song, what's so crazy?
Spaceship, right?
Spaceships, and you know what I didn't know? There's a music video on YouTube, but it wasn't released.
Like I watched that because he released it. I watched it.
Yeah, but it was never like it's on YouTube, but I don't know if it was released before. Or did he tweet it or something? Did he tweet the music video or something?
I don't know, but he released it somewhere. I just remember watching it. It was uploaded like within the last week.
Exactly. Yeah, it was uploaded, but I'm saying like it's out there, but it's like if you could see, it's not the quality's not the best anyway, and it wasn't like an official release music video. So, and it's interesting because
you should send that to me.
Yeah, I got you. It's a good song. It's a good song too, but it kind of makes sense because Gap is kind of like in that simple, like their clothing is nothing like super like crazy, and even though Kanye's clothing is really hype, I think everybody would agree it's very simple looking. Nothing.
Did you see that? What are the newest shoes they released? The foam.
They look crazy. I don't even.
Is it in here?
I hope the picture's in here.
I don't think it's in here, but
I don't think it is.
It's still.
Yeah. But like a little business part of this, when this news came out, shares of Gap, they're a public company, went up 20%. So I mean, some people clearly believe in it. I think they said they're hoping it makes like some billion of dollars. Like they're hoping it makes, I think it's like $5 billion. There's upwards of way more than $1 billion. So they're hoping to cash in on it. But this article points out, when something Kanye has becomes produced wholesale and everyone can have it, does it still hold the same? We will still line up to get a pair of Yeezys.
Yes. Okay, watch. Okay, this is the thing, because like I hear that point where like it's not exclusive, so people won't line up. But I remember when Virgil Abloh, he did like a release at like not a clothing store, but it was like somewhere you can get furniture and whatnot. I remember there was that video going around IKEA, and I remember it's supposed to be IKEA so everybody can get it. But you saw those crazy people running in and stuff. I'm saying even though it's a Gap, the people, they're like, oh, so normal people can get it. But I'm saying normal people, like people are still gonna line up because it's Kanye. There's people. There's going to be people out there gonna line up for Gap. And
you think as many people are gonna do it?
I think so, and I think Gap's not ready for that. I don't know if I think they're hoping that it's like, oh, people just walk in and just find easy on the table, but I don't think that's be possible. So yeah.
Yeah. I think it'll be beneficial for both people because I know Gap is struggling right now, and Kanye. Ideally, this will make it more accessible for us normal people to get Kanye stuff. So
yeah, for sure. I mean, it'd still be easier for people to get it, but I don't think it'll be as hard, like, to find easy at a store.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So before we talk about what Kanye's old friend Virgil has been up to, I saw this article also by Complex where they ranked their top songs of 2020 so far, and I just wanted us to talk about it because I feel looking at the top 10, I could see you two having thoughts. Just about every release we've talked about and liked, I say, is on here. They have Landed. They have Song 33.
Oh, that Frank Ocean song was dope.
That was good. Oh, wow.
13. Yeah. I just wanted us to see which of our picks made it number 13.
Shut up.
I hate you. Going.
I hate you.
Continue.
Well, for the record, that I do like that Jay Electronica song, actually. Okay, I didn't say the album sucks. I said the album sucks. But
pretty harsh.
It's pretty harsh.
Okay, so we got Lil Mosey, Blueberry Faygo at 10. Bad Bunny. I think this song got taken off Spotify for like a day.
Oh wow,
people freaked out. So this was a pretty popular song. And it's a good song. Gotti B.
That's a great song.
That's a
great song.
That song was such a moment.
Wow.
Oh wow.
That song was so sad.
I know.
The song was so
good song.
We'll touch on this album later, I feel. But
yeah, talking about posthumous albums. This is a great song. I was very happy to see
interesting.
On there.
Good song.
Really good song off that album. I love it.
Yeah, for sure. West Side Gun.
Oh wow, that's the song. Wait, is this the one that Jay Versace produced? I don't think so. Still a good track though.
I don't think this is the one.
Still a good track though.
No.
Okay. I think we skipped this one.
I will say, look, if we're gonna give this album credit, of the songs on this album, I did enjoy Silly
This
Walk.
actually, you're right. This is actually one of the better songs on the album. Even though I don't agree, this is the number 4 song of the for the year. But okay, I haven't heard this song because this song
I'm not
is
familiar with this one.
I'm not familiar with this song.
With it either.
So
I'm sure it's
shout out Pop Smoke.
The bigger picture.
I respect that.
I feel like I know what number 1's gonna be then.
Oh, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Savage.
Interesting.
Remix. Say So Remix is like number 40, I think, on here. So both of those are on here. Like I said, I think just about every big release is somewhere on
That's interesting because the Say So, Say So and the Savage remix were kind of pitted against each other. I think you guys agree they came out at the same time. But the Say So, like the original songs, I like Say So better, but I do think the Savage remix is better in terms of the remixes.
I agree.
I do randomly get Beyonce's verse in this song stuck in my head sometimes.
Yeah, it was a moment.
Song. It's a really good collab.
Yeah,
it's a really good song, good collab. The cover art's dope too. So yeah. So I have no problem.
Top 10.
I have no problem with the list. A lot better than their album listing.
That's what I was. I enjoyed this list way better.
This is not the most egregious list we've seen so far.
Exactly. This list feels like they actually, to some degree, kind of cared about the quality of the actual song. But,
yeah.
There was a lot of surprises in there. A lot of surprises that I wouldn't expect Complex for the top 10. So
I agree. But
Escape from LA, that's pretty, out of all the songs from the Weeknd's album to put in the top 10.
Exactly.
That's a pretty interesting one. I don't disagree. It's a great song.
It's a good song. It's a great song.
Yeah.
Favorite song on the album, Avery? Favorite song on the album?
Not mine personally, but
good song though. Good song.
Yeah, good song.
Good song though.
So Virgil Abloh.
We'll get to him later, but this is an interesting. Actually, I remember I sent this to you guys during the week because we were having a discussion about album covers. Oh, not that one, but I know we were talking about like other album covers.
The other ones he's done.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But both are conversations. I think we're gonna get to the Pop Smoke thing a little later when we get to Pop Smoke's album. But I think Avery, you're the one who told me like, he's done other covers. I was like, oh, I didn't know. Exactly, but going through this list, he actually has been behind some really good covers, which makes it even more surprising why this Pop Smoke album cover has some issues with it and a lot of, backlash coming from it.
Well, actually, seeing the other covers made me understand more why the Pop Smoke album looked the way it did.
It didn't for me. Yeah,
I didn't understand how the Pop Smoke album cover came to be.
I mean, look at Watch the Throne. Look at that cover, then look at Pop Smoke's album. Like, they're similar, like, enough
I don't see it. I don't.
I mean, as far as like, don't get me wrong, one is way better than the other. But as far as like somewhat of a similar concept, except silver and with his face flat in the middle of it, like I kind of see something.
I don't know, man. I don't know. And for the record, all these covers aren't designed by Virgil, but he's like a creative director behind these albums. Now this one, when I see the Yeezus cover, I can see why he did the Pop Smoke, because I think even though, thoughts away from this album, I think everybody would agree this is a very simplistic album cover.
Yeah. Very simplistic, which at the time was like wild, it was every
I remember. I really like this album cover.
Wait, I have a question. Hold up. What happens when you get the physical copy? What the heck is that? Is it just?
It's transparent. Or maybe it's just got the red thing.
No. So it's just a red thing on the side?
Probably.
I don't know if I like that.
That's a good point.
Because this is also what it looks like if you have it on Spotify or on Apple Music or anything. It's just a thing, just there.
Yeah,
I don't know if I like
probably.
that. So
this probably would make our parents cringe that this is an album.
Exactly. It'd be like, what? Yeah,
like, why?
It makes me cringe, to keep it frank. but yeah, I don't know. Seeing that, there's a good one. He did Lil Uzi's album.
The Off-White stuff on it.
Yeah, exactly. He had like tape off. Oh, I didn't even notice that until just now. Like the Off-White thing.
Off-White tape.
That's interesting. Space.
I think it's just like with how hard people were coming at Virgil Abloh, is good to like remind ourselves that it wasn't like a wild pick to ask Virgil Abloh to do the cover, like
this is low-key. This is low-key the best one. This is low-key the best one.
This is dope.
That's pretty cool.
Great album cover.
That is a good album cover.
And
this guy. I think we'll get to that later, but
I'll leave this up here for now.
But
we can go to our next headline, and then we'll come back.
Exactly. We'll come back to Pop Smoke. We'll get back to Pop Smoke.
I kind of threw this one in there. I thought this was very entertaining. I don't even know how it started. DJ Akademiks just kind of started going at Freddie Gibbs on Twitter, saying that
I don't know what is going on with DJ Akademiks.
He's not successful, or he's not as successful as. It's sad that DJ Akademiks as a blogger is more successful than Freddie Gibbs as a rapper. I don't know, Noah, can you elaborate more on why this began?
Is that true? Is that just not?
So, essentially, I don't even know exactly where it started, but I remember it was sometime this week, Avery sent me a tweet, and I'm like, oh, they're going at it. So I think, because DJ Akademiks, he's really big on Twitch. Like, he loves playing games, and he'll be like, live streaming and stuff like that. I think he said something. So Freddie Gibbs got onto it. And honestly, they've been going back and forth. And if you see DJ Akademiks' Twitter, he has like 20 tweets where he's just going at Freddie Gibbs. He's not adding him, but he's just essentially saying, I'm more successful as a blogger than you ever were as a rapper. Come to Everyday Struggle. That show that still happens on Complex. Like, bring up proof. I make more money as a blogger. You just sold 10K. You just started doing okay, I guess. You just getting started. Da-da-da. And so there's been this big beef, and Freddie Gibbs has just trolled this man to the max. This man is professional. This man is a Hall of Fame troller at this point. If you go to this man's site... I
didn't want to put the tweets on the screen because they're a little spicy, but...
a little spicy.
Very
spicy. They are so entertaining.
Spicy.
He's selling shirts, DJ Akademiks, which my little brother actually considered buying. But
let's not forget that he has a base. Okay, I want us to not forget. Like, hey, I just don't know why DJ Akademiks. I just don't know why he thought he was like invincible as far as like Complex suspended him, Twitch suspended him.
Yeah. Oh, wow. I mean, he also had. I didn't put this in here, but he also went after Chrissy Teigen.
Yeah, he went after Chrissy Teigen.
Went after Chrissy Teigen. He's beginning. This is the thing about DJ Akademiks. I don't know if anybody actually likes him. Like, I don't know if anybody's like, man, I actually like DJ Akademiks. Like, I'm a huge fan. But the thing is, he actually does have some news that he has. He has some value. I can see why people like him. Like, he'll post first week sales. He's a good news source in a sense. So
the ultimate meme with that Migos thing too.
Yeah, he's a meme. The thing is, I don't know if anybody likes him, but I think there is a place for him. He's kind of like the less version of a Shade Room.
Yeah, I mean, I used to watch Everyday Struggle pretty frequently, but as soon as Joe Budden left, I was like, well, I'm not entertained by Akademiks that much. So
Well, I don't know. Do you know anybody that's genuinely a fan of DJ Akademiks? I mean, I don't know. Like,
I mean, I only see what I see on Twitter. Like, I've never in like real life met someone who's a diehard for DJ Akademiks.
Well, that's my point, though. I'm saying, but that's where he lives.
Exist.
He lives on Twitter. I mean, that's the thing. It's not real life. He literally lives on Twitter. He lives on the internet. So. I
mean, but in today's culture, I mean, that is
the real. I'm saying that's
he stirs up a lot of controversy, right? And like that's what makes you famous and popular now. So.
Yeah,
I guess in our day and age, he's like a celebrity that really fits that mold. Really well.
Fits that mold.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, this wasn't anything big, but it was hilarious. And it was still unfolding. I'm pretty sure they're still going at it. Probably.
Freddie Gibbs is on Jesus and Mero tonight, and I'm pretty sure something crazy is gonna get said. So.
And Jesus and Mero hate him too, so we'll see how that goes. So that'll be hilarious too. But so it'll be good. So yeah.
Right now, want to get into our main topic?
Do we want to talk about do we want to talk about Pop's? Did we already give our thoughts on Pop Smoke's album cover?
Well, if you want to give just the whole breakdown of like the whole situation with him and his album, and some of the controversy behind it and whatnot.
Now Virgil Abloh was asked to make a cover for the album. It's needless to say, the design that came out, people weren't a big fan of.
There we go.
For whatever reason have you, a lot of people just didn't think it was up to par or looked like enough time has been on it. So a lot of fans were very vocal about it, and they eventually decided to change it. And one interesting comment that I think really goes into posthumous albums is, this guy right here, Stephen Victor, he says Pop Smoke's not here to give his input on the album. He wanted Virgil Abloh to be the one to design it. But the fans out, and he'd want us.
I'm pretty sure he's Pop Smoke's manager.
Yeah,
Stephen Victor. Yeah.
And he came out and said, Pop Smoke wants to listen to the fans, and they changed the cover to what we have now. And I think we can all agree that the new cover is different and probably a little bit more.
Why his ear looks like the way it does.
Yeah, exactly. So what I got from this was earlier this week, Virgil dropped the album cover.
Yeah.
And I think he deleted this post on his Instagram, but essentially he was saying, me and Pop Smoke were close. We had a couple discussions, and he felt like his life was like roses with, he gave a bunch of explanations behind it and whatnot. And he released his cover, and then there was a lot of backlash from obviously his manager and 50 Cent, who's a big advocate of Pop Smoke.
He EP'd the album.
Exactly. A lot of people, when Pop Smoke was out, a lot of people compared him to 50 Cent, whether that's valid or not. A lot of people felt like he had the same kind of type of energy as a 50 Cent. Mm-hmm. So, and he's obviously executively producing it. And I think a lot of people at first was just a joke, the fact that Virgil did this album, because I read it, and if you put up because if you Google Pop Smoke, the first picture that pops up is this. So people are like, okay, so you Google the first picture that popped up. Yeah. He photoshopped his ear out, which I don't know why, which is such a weird thing. And he did this album cover. I don't necessarily hate the concept. Are those supposed to be roses? That's the thing. I thought that was just ice.
Yeah,
what the heck?
I thought they were like rocks or something when I saw it.
Whoa. I just noticed that those are supposed to be roses, right?
Yeah, they're chrome roses. And I think it's supposed to be kind of like a thorn, maybe protecting him or something. Or
yeah, I don't know, but I think a lot of people just didn't like the effort that was put into it. So,
it's important to say we don't really know the effort that was put into it. For all we know, Virgil could have spent like a month and a half working on this concept and trying to do something.
And it doesn't seem like Virgil Abloh to just throw something together.
Yeah,
I don't know. In the way that he seems like his work ethic, just reading things, it doesn't seem like he, especially for a close friend, wouldn't just.
Especially considering the circumstances, and that was my one thing, and why I wanted to look at some of his other covers. It's like people were insinuating that Virgil was because of the whole little $50 thing he was in before, that he just came through and was like, oh, I'll just first image, let me just throw, that's not what it was. People didn't like the cover, but let's not dissect he woke up one day and threw something on a piece of paper.
To be fair,
will say, the controversy about this being copied, this concept being someone spoke on Twitter and was he had a design that came out first and he had a caption. Did y'all see this at all? I think the link.
I did see that. Yeah. And just to be clear, I wasn't saying that Virgil Abloh threw this together, but I'm saying to a lot of people, that's what it came off as. I was
yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So, but yeah. And also, just before you get into the other thing, to be fair to Virgil Abloh, his brand is kind of being like the simplistic, kind of like the obvious, like, it's be like off-white, tape, like it was on, that's his thing. So
or like the Nike ones where he put like
air.
Air.
Like it'll be like air, that's like his thing. So like, even though it looks like it's thrown together, that's kind of like his thing, like the fact that it's like a do-it-yourself type thing and DIY type thing. So that was kind of his thing. So yeah,
that's true.
So that's the part about it, but yeah.
And then we can look at what they ended up with, which I actually think is really cool. Personally,
I like the cover a lot.
The thing about posthumous albums is they're tricky because the artist is not there and they have no input at all. And I think this is easy because it's the most simplistic thing you could do, honestly. It's nothing too crazy going on. It's just the chrome flower. I think everybody can tell it's a flower in this one way more than the other cover, which I like better. And it's just black in the background. So I think it's always tough with these posthumous albums. People might try to do a lot and whatnot, but I definitely like this.
This is very like somber to me, and it seems like the black kind of reminds me of like a funeral or something, and the flower reminds me of like paying your respects to someone. Personally,
does anyone know if who made this cover? Was it still Virgil? Because I'm sure he had like multiple designs that he like put forward. Like,
that's interesting.
I wonder who ended up designing this final cover. Because I liked it a lot as well. I think it would really, really fit the album.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's interesting. I don't know, because I assume Virgil was paid. I don't know if he was paid, but I assume he was paid for making that album. So did he get the money still? Did they take the money back? That's interesting. But getting back to the cover, I kind of like that they changed it because I feel like I was worried that more people were going to harp on the cover than the actual celebration of Pop Smoke life by listening to the music, which it seems like people are kind of over now because people are enjoying the album and whatnot. But I was worried about that at first. So yeah, that's good that this album's getting its just due now with this cover and its music and whatnot. So have you guys been able to listen?
Yeah, I was about to ask. What did you guys think of the music itself?
I liked the album a lot. And I remember I listened to it once and then I tweeted right after like, the album's really good. Like with the sad emoji, because it was sort of I was really worried with the posthumous album. It was unfinished. The artist wasn't able to put it out himself. We don't know what the final version sounds like. So it's always the possibility that it's not, up to par. It's not really great or doesn't live up to the person's name or potential is real. And I think this album is a really good album. And I think it, for people like me who prior to this release, back when he was just known for like a Dior and Welcome to the Party, I was like, he kind of sounds one-dimensional. He has like the same sound. He does the drill thing. And this album, it had that, but it also had variety. And I enjoyed it a lot. I've listened to it several times. I'm listening to it right now, actually, funny enough. And yeah, I think it was put together really well. So shout out to 50 Cent and whoever else was involved with like producing it and putting it together and getting the features together. I like it a lot.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you. With posthumous albums, it's really tough because obviously the artist isn't involved. You don't know how much they finished. You don't know how much was started. You don't know what songs were actually meant to be on the album. And you know me, I personally don't like long albums, but I actually appreciate this album being long since the guy's, dead. He's not with us anymore. And obviously you want to put as much music out as possible for the fans to enjoy. And similar to Nnamdi too, I just do him for Dior and Welcome to the Party for the most part. And I was, there were cool songs, but I wasn't necessarily like, huge fans of him necessarily. But this album is actually, I actually enjoyed it a lot. I'm not necessarily a huge fan of drum music in general, but there's parts of it I really do like. So I really like the music overall. It's a long album, yeah, but I think that's fair considering his fans.
I think it's just under an hour, right?
Yeah, it's exactly, it's a long album in terms of tracks, but each song isn't like it's not like each song's 4 minutes long or whatnot. So yeah. It's good. The features are good for the most part. I really enjoy the features. It's good to have 50 Cent on a track, on some tracks. Well, on a huge song, the Woo track, which is actually a good song too. So I really enjoyed it. I do want to know what tracks were done and what tracks were finished. And it's interesting because for some reason, I don't know if this is just me or you guys, but like sometimes you can really feel, I don't want to get all like technical like music and stuff, but you know, sometimes you can really feel when like artists are in the same room recording music. It's like Run the Jewels.
Oh yeah.
You get the feeling that they were in the same room recording these songs.
You can tell when they just sent over the files or not, you know?
It feels like a lot of these were sent over, obviously, because you know they want to get a lot of these artists on it. But I mean, it's not like it ruined the music necessarily. But so yeah.
And like, of course, he couldn't have recorded as many of these features just because of, you know, when he passed away. But I saw a video of him recording Aim for the Moon with Quavo.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So there were some of them that were good to go.
Yeah.
I thought the amount of features they got was really cool, because then what it struck me as was like, I didn't know a whole lot about Pop Smoke, but
yeah,
what it really struck me as was like, he was probably like one of your favorite rappers, if that makes sense. Like, he's obviously someone that all of these people really enjoyed listening to and were really excited to hear more from. And I thought that was really cool to see this whole community come together and kind of help push this album to the finish line and get it out.
And you know, I don't know if you guys felt this, but, or maybe you, I don't know if you guys felt this, but you know, part of you kind of feels bad. It's like, dang, why am I getting onto this guy? Because like part of me thinks, would I have listened to this album if it wasn't a posthumous album? You know, you kind of get that thought in your head.
And like, I said, like, one of the best things you can do with this album is release an album that makes people sad at the end, because you realize that, like, wow, this is really good. Then it hits you that, like, oh, well, this was the album, you know, this was it. And I mean, I think that's a good thing at the end of the day, because that means you're making the album that left people wanting more and had enough of an impact that enough people enjoyed it and listened to it. And I do think a lot of people are going to be listening to it because, like I said, I think it's a really good album. And just going in on features, I don't think any of the features fell out of place. And that's really hard to do on an album like this, especially one where you wanted to include a lot of people, I'm sure. None of the features felt like too much. And Pop Smoke still kind of, you felt his presence on each song. So I can definitely appreciate that. And
also speaking towards Avery's point too, like, Avery said this is not necessarily his type of music or a type of music he would listen to on the normal. And it's not music I would necessarily listen to on the regular either. But I think we could all appreciate it's done well. Like, it was done well.
Done very well.
The quality's good and whatnot. And yeah, again, part of me does feel bad. Like, wow, why did I have to take for this to be a posthumous album for me to listen to it? Mm-hmm. But it's a bad thing, but it's also a good thing too, because it's not like people are saying it's a bad album or people saying this is terrible, because I think for the most part it's being well received. So I think it's a good thing for, you know, his legacy too and whatnot. So I
didn't realize how like cool of a voice he had, because I'd never listened to Pop Smoke before. I'd only known about like the whole story, so I didn't realize like his voice is really unique, or was really unique.
The thing is, the dude was like 20, 21, like the dude was like really, really young guy. He wasn't like 23, 24. He was like a good 20. I'm gonna look up his age right now, but he was a really young dude. Which it makes it, he was 20. Dude was 20. Like,
wow. Yeah. We were older. He was born in 99.
99.
He was younger than all of us.
That's what I'm saying. He would have turned 21, you know, this month, which is exactly. So it just kind of puts in perspective the whole thing. The fact that the dude was so young. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely, like,
a lot of these people who have been passing away have been really young.
Really young guys.
World, him,
exactly. Mac Miller was like the oldest one, and he was like 26. Like that's exactly. So that's
this would have made me, if I had listened to this, if you know, obviously if he was alive and come out with this album and I'd listened to it, it would have made me more excited to hear more. Like pay attention to him more in the future. So it is very sad to like. Yeah, you know, I think things like this kind of like make you want to like open up your musical taste a little bit more, as it does with me.
For sure.
Was there any one song on this that you would save to your library? You think you're going to be listening to?
I like the 50 Cent song a lot.
I like that song a lot.
I like the 50 Cent song a lot.
It's called The Woo. Yeah.
The Woo.
I really like Roddy Ricch too, so I was excited to hear like all three of them.
I like the 50 Cent song because that's what a lot of people compare him to. And I think to me, they don't sound like, I don't think they rap the same 50 Cent.
It's just because they both have really deep voices. And
deep voices.
And they're both from New York, so they kind of have a New York accent.
And correct me if I'm wrong, Nnamdi, what's the song that sampled Many Men from 50 Cent's album? I forgot it. I gotta look that up. But you know, it's Many Men from 50 Cent's album, which I thought was really dope.
Hold on.
Maybe. I don't know, but whatever song that is, if you want to find that, because that 50 Cent album, 50 Cent has released a great album in a minute. That's like 50 Cent. But those first two albums were good, and Many Men was on his first album. So
Got It
it's
On
really
Me.
dope.
That's what it is.
Yes. That song was really dope because he sampled 50 Cent's track, and I like that it was just a solo track with just Pop Smoke too, which was dope too. So yeah, definitely some standouts on the album.
I definitely think people are gonna listen to this. I think it's gonna get streamed a lot. It's already, I think, number one, or at least it's been like number one on like the Spotify streaming chart for a while.
Yeah.
And I think it's probably gonna debut at number one, and rightfully so, because I do think it's a really good album.
Yeah, and I'm glad the album cover thing has kind of went to the wayside and people are focusing more on
Yes.
So I want to pose this question to you guys because this is the second high-profile posthumous album we've gotten this year, and I think we can all agree that like the Mac Miller one was one of the best posthumous albums ever. And
it was.
Maybe this album is on the way. So like, what makes a good posthumous album for an artist?
You have to be able to feel the artist's voice still. I think that's the important part. You have to be able to feel like this wasn't something that someone who didn't really know what they were doing or was next to the artist or like had involvement with the music beforehand, was in charge of it. I think with Pop Smoke, the fact that it's 50 Cent, and Pop Smoke's manager was still involved, they helped keep that New York sound. They incorporated drill. Like, they didn't get rid of the things that made Pop Smoke. The features added to it. Same thing with Mac Miller. Luckily for Mac Miller, he had been planning circles, I think, for a while, because I read that swimming in circles, that was an intentional thing. He planned on releasing it together. So I'm sure he had more of those tracks already somewhat near being done. So you felt Mac Miller was one behind those tracks. So I think that's very important. You have to be able to feel like it still carries the musician, and these aren't just one-off tracks that like you're trying to make something out of.
Yeah, definitely, because when I think of posthumous albums, for the most part, looking at this list that somebody sent in the rundown, I think of Biggie for sure. I think of Tupac.
Those are the classics, and those are the ones that are like
classic.
Perfect examples, because they still feel like those artists released them. You still feel like that was a Tupac album, a Biggie album. Yeah.
I definitely remember Big L. Jay Dilla, who was just a producer, but I definitely remember that. So those are some of the ones that stick out the most. And I think a lot of things with those albums in general, that's kind of different from other albums, is that like, they're dead. And a lot of those albums, they kind of had no control of, like, especially, that's why I think the Mac Miller album was so good in general. Like, it's one of the better ones in general, even on this list. Because, like what Nnamdi said, it seemed like he was working on that a while. And when you hear, like, people talking about, the making of that album, it's like he made Swimming and then he was making Circles right after. It wasn't like it feels like it was a back-to-back thing, and it was kind of done in one big thing. And the fact that it was supposed to be Swimming and Circles, and it was like a two-part album, kind of, is why it came out really well. And honestly, to be frank, that's actually one of his Mac Miller albums, one of the better posthumous albums ever in general. Like,
I think
really
it's
well
up there.
done.
It's
really well done. And it makes it even better, not to get away from like Pop Smoke or anything, but it makes it even better because he's doing something totally different than he's done before. The fact that he's like singing most of the dang album.
Exactly.
And rapping most of the dang album. So,
and that's why it's so hard to listen to it, because you can tell just as an artist, he was going in a new direction, and he was starting to really like master and perfect a new sound. And you kind of just wish you could have heard more of that,
To me, like, a good posthumous album just makes you want more. And it makes sense within their discography, and it also just makes you really miss that person, even if obviously we don't know these guys. So for me, Circles definitely accomplished that. And Pop Smoke's album, even to an extent, because I didn't listen to a whole lot of his music, but Pop Smoke's album to an extent still made me be like, wow, I wish I could hear more.
Yeah, and Mac Miller to me hurts the most because he's probably like my favorite artist out of all these posthumous albums, and I love the album, but I just honestly have not listened to it a lot because it's hard to listen to. I have not listened to this album a lot, guys, but it's so good. But it's a good album, which makes it even harder to listen to. So
I think more than any other artist, at least on this list, we grew up with Mac Miller. Like, Mac Miller came out at the age where we were old enough to like pick music we wanted to listen to beyond the radio. Like, he was in that like Wiz Khalifa, Wale, Big Sean, ASAP Rocky, Mac Miller, Schoolboy Q, Kendrick. He was in like it was like that wave, and like
You know what I'm saying? Like to 2010
like,
to like 2013.
Yeah, like at this point, should be like elevating your music into like something more classic, right? And
yeah, exactly.
We're not going to get to see that from him, unfortunately. So
it's so crazy because you feel like you've known him forever, and he's 26. Like he's not that much. He wasn't that much older than us guys. Like
that's what
feels like he was way older
since we were younger. Because it's like, oh, this guy's just a few years older than us, and like he was older than us. Still just rapping. Yeah. It's
It's sad.
It's definitely hard to listen to. It's very sad.
Yeah. So, but it's good to see Pop Smoke releasing the posthumous album. But I don't know if you guys, we already discussed this, but projects of the week. I think we already kind of. I mean, any lasting thoughts on posthumous albums, Pop Smoke, or anything like that before we get into project of the week or anything like that?
I just think I just would say that like it's really obvious when a posthumous album is not done well, and it's like obvious what the intentions of the album are. And so I was really glad to see that Pop Smoke's albums was like very genuinely finished, very genuinely done, and by a community of people who genuinely cared about him as a person. We're excited to see him grow.
Yeah, I agree. I just really appreciate the care that this album was made with, and the fact I'm very, very happy it's a good album. Like I can't stress that enough, because Avery, I think when the artist isn't around to dictate things and make sure his vision is being implemented, or at least having a say or an input, it's very, very easy to just mess up that vision. And I'm happy that this album is cohesive. It sounds like it is something Pop Smoke would have released. It's a really good album, major debut album. That's all I can ever really ask for a posthumous album. So
yeah, I definitely agree with
made it happen behind the scenes.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you. And for it to be his major album debut, this album sounds like, because a lot of these artists, they have like projects or mixtapes or whatnot, but this definitely sounds like a more refined Pop Smoke on this album.
Yes.
Which I think is a good thing, especially with the major label debut. Like even the music, is still Pop Smoke, but everything sounds way more quality, which I think is a good thing. And everything just sounds way more refined. So salute for making a good album. So project of the week. You guys got any albums you've been listening to? Any new releases y'all been listening to? Or the same old for y'all? Avery, Bridgers, all we can get. Okay.
You want to go first? Go first. You go first.
Okay, go first. Okay, so there was a couple, a few new releases. So Avery, I don't know if Avery already told me, but I don't know if I said this last week, but the Terrace Martin track, I've been really listening to that.
The album comes out this week.
I'm really excited for that.
Yeah.
I'm really excited for that because that track is really dope. The song's called Freeze Tag and the album's called Dinner Party. There's only one track out, but I'm really excited for that. It's so really good. And Westside Gunn released another album. They do release like 3 albums a year. Fly God is an awesome God. It's called Fly God is Awesome God too. And I heard about it because Van Lathan, who has a podcast on The Ringer, he tweeted like he used me in the album, and he actually uses like some vocals from Van Lathan, which is talking about Kanye. He used that clip like, I don't think you're thinking anything. That clip is in the album. So he tweeted, and I was like, oh, he released another album. So I've been listening to that. I really enjoyed the album. So yeah, but I'm definitely looking forward to that Terrace Martin, Ninth Wonder, whoever it is.
I'm looking forward to that Snow Allegra album too. That's coming.
Snow Allegra, yeah.
I'm looking forward to that album.
Now he's about to be in his feelings for the next week.
Oh, that's my. She can sing. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that too. So yeah.
Yeah.
Avery, you go ahead, Avery.
Okay.
Go ahead, Avery.
I was a little late to this because the album came out last week, but it's by this artist. I think she's British. Her name's Jessie Ware. And she came out with this album called What's Your Pleasure? And it's like a disco pop kind of album. It's kind of nostalgic. It's so good. It is such a great pop album. And I don't know why I've never heard of her before, but it's like such an interesting and good album. The last song is called Remember Where You Are, and I'd highly encourage like anyone to go listen to that. It's as good an album closer as any I've ever heard. And I know like a lot of the albums we've reviewed this year, like Run the Jewels had A Few Words for the Firing Squad, and then Phoebe Bridgers had The End Is Near, which are both great album finishers. I put this up there with those 2 songs. Like it's such a great album finisher. So.
What's the artist and what's the album again?
Her name is Jessie Ware, and the album's called What's Your Pleasure.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll go through our albums again and whatnot, but.
Yeah.
I don't have an album, but I have new singles and new artists that I've been put on for the first time. So, of course, Ego Death. Great song, probably my favorite song of the week. Listen to that. But also, there's a guy named Chester Watson. Last week, I shouted out Toby Lou. This week, Chester Watson. Both black artists, support black music. But he has a song called Deep Sea Tundras that I really enjoyed. So that's been on my repeat. It's rap, but it's rap, but it's very chill, like lo-fi.
Really?
Yeah.
This sounds like my music. Rap. You're not gonna hit me up, buddy? Like.
Oh, I know. I've been listening to stuff pretty often. I know you want.
This is a Noah artist right here.
I mean, he said lo-fi. I was like, oh, really? But
no, yeah, check him out though. That's who I've been listening to a lot. I'm actually listening to him right now, so that's why it was pretty easy to think of that one.
That's dope. Yeah. So, just to go through everybody's projects again. I said West Side Gun, The Fly God is an awesome God too. And I said Dinner Party. The album's called Dinner Party, and the track is called Freeze Tag. And Avery,
that's such a good song.
Yeah, it's a good song.
The album I was listening to is by Jesse Ware called What's Your Pleasure, and the song I'd say listen to is called Remember Where You Are.
Gotcha.
And I said, when I said Ego Death, but mainly I said Chester Watson, Deep Sea Tundras, great track. Give it a listen to his music. Great artist.
Ego Death by Ty Dolla $ign.
Yeah, Ego Death by Ty Dolla $ign. And Pop Smoke's album. Great.
And Pop Smoke. Yeah, Pop Smoke's album, of course, for sure.
Okay, anything to add? Anyone have any other music takes you want to get off their mind before we wrap this up?
All I gotta say is Kanye for president. That's all I gotta say. So. I'm joking. I'm not serious, guys. Okay, I'm not serious, but
I can't believe he's doing this again, and I can't believe we're doing it. The thing
is, y'all sent that tweet, and I just saw pictures of it. I was like, that tweet's not real. Like, if I go to his page, it's not gonna be on there. And lo and behold, I go to this man's Twitter account, and this man tweeted, "I'm running for president." I was like, this man cannot be serious.
Again?
Come on now, bro. So
all says you thought Donald Trump was trolling at first. And
I don't think it's again though, because I think Kanye always said he was going to run for president in 2020. So I think he should stick with his word. I don't think he was, so.
And I think he realizes that he has shoes that he's trying to launch in a Gap, and he has a new album that he's releasing, and it wouldn't hurt to have his name being said pretty often right now.
Do you think the album's actually going to come out?
Oh, I hope so.
You think it's actually going to come out?
I mean, I'd hope so, but knowing Kanye, I wouldn't be surprised if he changed the name and decided to wait 7 months. But again, I hope so.
Well, I got you, but I'm saying, do you think it's like genuinely going to come out? Because sometimes artists say something and never comes out. You think it's actually going to come out?
Well, he released the single, so I could see him releasing one more single, maybe one or two more singles, and then releasing the album. So
he hasn't set a date, so I feel like it's going to come out. If that makes sense. He's
because
not really committing to any timeline here. So
yeah. I know I'm like, you guys act like I hate Kanye, but I'm actually interested in this album. Okay, I'm interested in Kanye music. It don't mean I'll like it, but I'm always interested.
I'm always interested in Kanye, so it gives me a reason to not be interested.
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
There you go.
Exactly. So yeah. So.
All right. Well, any other thoughts, Avery?
I'm good.
Okay, then. That does it for us here at the 97 Demo. Make sure to listen to us. We are now on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, effective a couple days ago, as well as SoundCloud and YouTube. So make sure to listen to us, hear our hot takes about music.
Music.
I guess. Yeah, thanks. See you next week.